Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elisa and today I have a pattern roundup for you. So it's been a long time since the last pattern roundup, but as you may imagine, my search for the perfect pattern never stops. And so today I would like to present to you some of my findings when it comes to textured knits. And what do I mean when I say textured knits? Of course I mean non-stockinette knits, and also knits with some, like, reliefs when there's a certain texture created by purls and purl stitches and knit stitches. And sometimes it also might involve cables, because as we know, many cabled patterns also have a lot of textured panels. Even if I'm planning on creating another pattern roundup specifically thought for cabled sweaters and patterns and so on. So maybe if you're interested also in that, you could simply give a like to these video, and also subscribe to my channel so that you will be informed when I post my next video. So first of all, I would like to start with what I'm wearing, because I know that many of you will be usually are interested in what I'm wearing during my episodes and videos. This is the FAO sweater by Lene Home Samso, and I've knit this in gifted yarn by Hobby, so I gifted, and this was knit in France Portobello by Hobby to get held together with their friends silk mohair. I think that this yarn combination is a little bit scratchy, so if you're on the sensitive side of the spectrum, I don't know, maybe don't use this mohair, but I feel pretty comfortable in it. And also I love this sweater. I love the this detail, these sleeves which are leaves which are created through yarn overs and cables, and I simply love wearing this sweater because it makes me feel very, it's easy, it's simple because it's a sweater, but it at the same time, I think that lace detail make every outfit a little bit more elevated. This pattern also includes short rows, so even if I left this color a little bit higher than what I normally do, I don't feel it's very narrow on my neck, so it's perfect. Another thing that I should mention is that I cut my hair. I know it's very different because I had long hair, but it really needed a trim. It really needed, to be cut, and I feel very comfortable in this new hairstyle. I think it's very easy to keep control of. I don't know how to say that, but probably if you have short hair, this would sound normal to you. I loved my long hair, but I also love and prefer probably these haircuts. So let me know what you think about my new haircut in the comments down below. But now that I said everything that I needed to say to start this video, I think that we can truly and really start this video with the pattern roundup. So of course all of these patterns and many more will be listed in one of my Ravelry bundles that are linked down below, so that you will be able to find them all in one place. So the categories will be cardigans slash jackets, I would say. Then we'll have, of course, sweaters, and I decided not to include like tops or t-shirts or anything like that, because as you may see from the light in my room, today it's very gloomy, and finally in Italy autumn and winter are coming, so I don't really feel like talking about tops and t-shirts. And probably later next year, during spring or summer, I will do a specific video about t-shirts and tops with textured patterns. So I think that we can jump right in, starting with cardigans and jackets. So the first pattern I want to tell you about, I'm sorry if I'm looking down there because I just have my computer there to remember everything that I want to tell you about these patterns. So the first pattern is the Nomad Jacket by Wool & Beyond. I really love Wool & Beyond Wool & Beyond's pattern because I think they are very different and I don't know, they have a clear personal style, I would say. So this pattern was published in October 2022 and I would define it more as a jacket or coat rather than a cardigan because of its oversized fit, which make it possible for people to wear also maybe a jumper or a sweater underneath. Let's start with some detail. This is an oversized jacket in honeycomb brioche with a rounded bottom edge. So the texture in this pattern is made by this honeycomb stitch, which I have never made before, but I'm very curious to try. The gauge for this sweater is 14 stitches in 10 centimeters in honeycomb brioche and double knitting, and the suggested needle size is 4 millimeters, and probably for the the finishings is 3 millimeters. The sizes available for this pattern go from an extra small to 4XL, and so the size inclusivity is great because the chest width of the garment goes from 110 centimeters to 165 centimeters, and the recommended is for this jacket, it's not listed, but I would say it's around 30 centimeters. Oh yes, between 25 and 30 centimeters of positive ease. So this pattern is really size inclusive. I love this also because of its, it seems very, the honeycomb stitch I think makes the fabric very resistant and very thick, so that it makes a perfect jacket. Probably in Italy I could still wear these in November because we are not having very low temperatures. But in other cases and in other countries you may wear this also as a cardigan. So yeah, I think this is beautiful. I also love the fact that the bottom edges are rounded, and just let me tell you about the details of the pockets. Like, pockets make every outfit and every garment look beautiful to me. Yes, I really love this look and the contrast between these pockets in stockinette stitch, the honeycomb brioche stitch, and after that also the contrast with the back panel for the shoulder, which is again in stockinette stitch. I think that the designer has thought about every single detail of this jacket. I would probably make this one in a slightly darker color, maybe also in black, just because I would wear this as an outerwear piece. And so I prefer my outerwear pieces to be slightly darker than my sweaters and pullovers. The Nomad Jacket costs about €8.93. So yeah, this was my first cardigan slash coat slash jacket pattern. The second option is it was published by Woodlark Yarn, which is a yarn brand, I think an American US yarn brand, yes, and it's Clearview by Sasha Knits. This was published in Woodlark Fleck Collection 2023 Part 1. So it's a very recent publication because this was in October 2023. And this is considered to be a cardigan, but really when I look at this I also think about it as a jacket. The clear view is a cardigan worked from the top down. Back and front shoulders are worked separately and then joined at the underarm to work the body to the hem. What can I say? There are two options for body length and sleeve length, but I really prefer it to be maybe a cropped length for the body and very long sleeves, because that's how I like my knits. The yarn weight is sport weight and the gauge is 28 stitches and 44 rows in waffle pattern, which is something I've never heard of, I think. Oh no, it's this beautiful, this beautiful textured pattern. Yeah, I really love it. I also love the contrast between this waffle pattern and also the cables that appear on the side and that go inside pockets, I guess. When it comes to size inclusivities, the sizes available for these pattern go from 1 R8 and the finished measurements for the bust / chest circumference go from 106.5 centimeters up to 165 centimeters, with a positive ease that should be around 25 and 35 centimeters. What I really like about this pattern is again the fact that it could be considered both as a jacket or as a cardigan. I love the this waffle pattern. I think it makes this garment very polished. Also because it's paired with these beautiful cables, and I also love the contrast with this high neck that is not too tight on the body, and that makes it perfect also to be makes this pattern also perfect to be worn as an outerwear piece. I would probably make this one in a lighter color. I'm in love with this 3D version that that Woolfolk is suggesting here, and I also think that it's beautiful. It's a beautiful pattern also for your male significant other, if you have one, or your because I think it's a beautiful, like I don't know, unisex pattern. I think it suits very well both male and female bodies, and everything could be adjusted by choosing the perfect positive ease. Maybe usually this is not a rule, because a lot depends on what you or the person you're knitting something for prefers. But usually male garments have a slightly how can I say, have less positive ease than women's garments, but a lot depends on what the person you're knitting for prefers. I would go for 30 centimeters of positive ease, just for the pleasure of wearing it as a jacket when I want, and wearing it as a very cozy cardigan, used as a jumper maybe when I want. But I really like this pattern. This pattern costs €11.67. And I think it's pretty, like, it's a pretty complex knit, so I guess it's understandable, I mean. Then the next pattern is the, oh my god, I don't know how to pronounce this. I googled this, I've googled it, but it's the Korshavna cardigan, I think, by Tonje Hodne, and please correct me if this is wrong, but I swear I used Google Translate to understand how to pronounce this. So this pattern was published a while ago in August 2021, and it was published by Tonje Hodne. He is well known on Instagram as Strikke Café. This is a proper cardigan with a V-neck and with this beautiful basket pattern. It worked bottom up, so we have a difference in the construction. So you start from the body, you come up to the armhole opening, and you divide into front and back, and you join the pieces at the shoulder, and then you start working your sleeves. Of course, you need, for the front, you need to also shape the v-neck, but yeah, I think it's beautiful. What I like about these is that even if this basket pattern is usually very thick and not very precise, when I look at these at the sample for this cardigan, maybe it's also because of the choices for the buttons, but it gives me very polished vibes, and I really like that. I'm really enjoying that. Also, one other thing is that the v-neck is not too low or too deep, so I can see myself wearing these also not just as a cardigan, but also maybe as a jumper, so with just a tight shirt underneath, or maybe with a t-shirt underneath. About the details for this pattern, suggested yarn are Sandnes Garn Pure Gint and Sandnes Garn Team Silk Mohair held together, and so the yarn weight is DK. The gauge is 18 stitches and 26 rows in this basket wave pattern, according to the chart that is given in the pattern. The sizes available go from extra small to 3XL, and this corresponds to bust circumference two bust circumferences that go from, here it is, 96 centimeters up to 140 centimeters, excluding the bottom band. And these are the measurements for the finished cardigan. Yeah, I've already said that I'm really enjoying this pattern. Probably I would make this in a lighter color, not gray. I'm not really a fan of gray knits, but I would love for this basket weave pattern to really stand out. And I think that the best thing you can do to make this pattern stand out is using a very light colored yarn. So I'm coming at the end of these of my suggestions for cardigan, textured cardigan, but I wanted to include a like special mention or honorable mention. This is actually included in my queue, but I decided not to talk about it in my in this video extensively, because I love this pattern. I really love this pattern, but it's not size inclusive at all, and it's a very recent publication by Agent Knits. It was published in November 2023, and this is the Arabi Cardigan. The first time I saw this pattern, I was stunned, I was amazed. I really loved this pattern. I loved every detail, from the bottom band with this beautiful button, as well as I loved also the like the cable detail on the sleeves. The problem with this pattern is that it only has 3 sizes, and despite the fact that the bust circumference for these garment go from 120 centimeters up to 140 centimeters, I don't think that this is a size inclusive pattern, because you know, size inclusivity also lies in how detailed and how much in detail you can choose your size according to your measurements. And having only 3 sizes doesn't really enable you to do that. So I decided just to mention this one, because I really I couldn't not name this one, because I was amazed by this, but at the same time I wanted to be very open and honest about these garments. So I love this, and maybe I will make it in the future. But if you're looking for a size inclusive or cardigan slash jacket, this is not made for you. So I think that we can go to the next category. And the next category is that of textured sweaters. I would like to start with a not well-known pattern, and I think not even the designer is well-known. And this is the Groning Pullover by MJ Williams. This pattern was published in December 2022, and it's a beautiful sweater in a gorgeous textured pattern. The Groning Pullover is a bottom-up knitted pullover. So again, we have a bottom-up construction. All the pieces are knitted flat separately and blocked before they are seamed together. So this detail is the one that makes me say, I don't know if I will ever make this pattern, because I don't know, I don't particularly enjoy seaming and sewing when I have to make pullovers, because I always make a mess when it comes to this. You first knit the front and then the back, and finally the two sleeves. And once the pullover is assembled, the collar is knitted. And one of the reasons why I decided to choose and include this pullover is because of this beautiful collar and shirt collar, which is not that easy to find in textured patterns. When it comes to the pattern in itself, the yarn which is used is an unspun yarn. And I think that this gives also some advantages, because usually with unspun yarn you can get bigger gauge with less yarn, because it really blooms when you wash it. So like suggested yarn are for example Istex Plotulopi or Letlopi, but also Woodrimers Manchelopis. And like I tried Manchelopis and it's beautiful. It's a pleasure to work with that yarn. And probably if I will ever make this pattern, and if I will ever like decide to make this pattern, despite the fact that I would have to sew a lot of pieces together, I think that I would use Manchelopis, because I know it's super soft. When it comes to the yarn weight, it's DK, and the gauge is 18 stitches per 32 rows in 10 centimeters in this stitch pattern. The sizes available are 9, and the bust circumference go from 90 centimeters up to 170 centimeters, and the suggested positive ease is between 5 and 15 centimeters. I just love this pattern. I see that in a cropped version, because I think that the color is what gives a lot of the I don't know. My attention is always focused on the color, and I would go for a cropped style, maybe a little bit flowy, also taking advantage of the fact that you're using unspun yarn. I'm really liking it. I would go crazy with the color in this case, and for me going crazy means choosing maybe a pink or maybe I don't know, green, but in very maybe not that pop versions, not in a pop version, kind of pink and green, but maybe in a, I don't know, like limey green color, maybe, yeah, maybe so. The Groningen Pullover, this pattern costs 8.53 euros on Ravelry. The next pattern is a pattern by Gregoria Fibers, and it's the Breit Sweater. I think that among all the patterns by Gregoria Fiber, the Breit Sweater is the one which is, I don't know, I haven't heard a lot about the Breit sweater before, but I really think it's a beautiful pattern and I want to make one. So the Breit sweater was published in November 2021 and it has an easy pattern stitch, which is almost like, I didn't know if I wanted to include this one in textured patterns because it almost creates a sort of cable through this texture. But yes, so it has an easy pattern stitch that creates a beautiful texture. The yoke is created by using shoulder increases. The front and the back are worked by another section of increases for a perfect fit. You have straight sleeves and body and folded neck, and it's worked seamlessly from the top down. And I really like the fit of this sweater because it seems so comfy and flowy, and yeah, it's really what I would love to add to my wardrobe in this moment. So when it comes to the details, the yarn that is used is sport weight, and the gauge is 22 stitches per 24 rows in pattern. The sizes are available are 7, and you go from a finished bust circumference of 93 centimeters up to 136 centimeters. So it's not that, you know, I've seen more size inclusive patterns, but that is not bad, I would say. The suggested positive is between 12 and 15 centimeters. I really love this pattern because of the uniqueness of this stitch pattern, and also because of the fit. It seems really comfy. It seems what I would love to wear in a very dark and moody autumnal or winter day, and I would make this in a very earthy tone, maybe very warm brown, or in a very cozy, I don't know, green, something like that. The pattern costs €8.69, and yeah, probably I will add this to my queue. Next pattern is a pattern that I didn't know if I wanted to include in textured knits or in cable knits, but in the end I've decided to put this into this category because I really think that the first thing that strikes me when I look at this, it's texture, and it's the Favo sweater by Fiber Tales. So I love Fiber Tales designs because they are so much inspired by nature, and I just love these. I'm a very, I don't know, I'm a girl who loves flowers and animals, and I love walking into the woods, and I know I'm not alone here. So the Favo sweater is a pattern published in February 2020. It's a cozy, oversized hug of a sweater, according to the designer, and I couldn't agree more. It has a high cropped feet and dropped hem, and it has an all-over textured pattern with a fun stitch and cable panel in the front. It is perfect to be worn over dresses or with a high-waisted pants and skirts. And this is what made me really want to knit this sweater, because I mean, just imagine these worn as a sweater on a beautiful dress with a very flowy skirt. Like, I'm here for this. So let's start with Favo. Oh yes, Favo means honeycomb in Italian. That's true, I'm Italian, I should know that. And it's inspired by the cozy texture on the sleeves and body resembling a honeycomb structure. That's true. So again, this is another pattern with an honeycomb brioche stitch, as we've seen for the Woolen Beyond jacket before. So this pattern is knitted, it has a worsted weight gauge, and how can I say? The gauge is 14 stitches per 26 rows in stockinette stitch. So you might need to pay attention to these elements because the gauge is measured in stockinette stitch, but the pattern is all texture and cables, so this could be a little bit dangerous. But when it comes to sizes, this is a very size inclusive pattern because you have sizes that go from extra small to 4XL, and you have a finished bust circumference that go from 118 centimeters up to 188 centimeters, considered a positive ease, a very big positive ease, between 40 and 45 centimeters. But this is understandable when you think that this is thought as an oversized sweater to put over other very flowy garments. What I really like about this sweater is the specific fit of this sweater, because I haven't seen anything similar when it comes to textured knits, and I really love the general vibe of this sweater, which is, you know, romantic, very nature-like and nature feeling, very you know, this is really I don't know, I can really see this one in my wardrobe. I would probably make this one in a very neutral colorway, just because I'm thinking about it as an oversized and as a garment to put over other garments. So I wanted to go with as many garments in my wardrobe as possible. But yeah, I'm just I think that now I want to knit this one. This one will also be added to my queue. This pattern costs €9.38. Next sweater is again one of those honorable mentions that I make just because this pattern made it to my bundle, to my Ravelry bundle, but not in my video because of size inclusivity, but I still love them. And in this case we have the Woodlark sweater by Lene Home Samso, or Lenit on Instagram. And this Woodlark sweater is beautiful. I really loved the texture and the very modern pattern that these a mixture of purl stitches and knit stitches created. It's beautiful, but then when it comes to sizes available, it's very we have the same issue that we had with the Arabi Cardigan of by Heijon Knits. And it's the fact that sizes are not very precise, because we have in-between sizes like extra extra small and extra small, or small medium, or large extra large, and so on. So sizes bust circumference of the finished garment go from 111 stitches to 153 stitches, but the sizes available are only 4, and this makes it really hard to have that precise positive ease that you would love when you're making your own garments. I'm still including these in the pattern roundup because I think it's very it is a very modern take and twist on textured pattern, and because it's something very different from other patterns that I've presented today. But when it comes to size inclusivity, I need to be honest and open. This is not size inclusive, I think, and it's important to be aware of this. This was all for my pattern roundup. It was a very long one, I know, but I'm very, lately I haven't been feeling like knitting a lot of, stockinette easy patterns, maybe because I have more time to knit. I just wanted to make something not that complex, but at the same time not that boring, even if I'm the first one who to understand that stockinette is not boring, it's mind soothing. But yeah, I wanted just to put together all my impressions and all of my ideas about textured knits, and I also wanted to share with you these patterns, just because I would love for you to write down in the comments some other suggestions. I don't know, maybe you've knit some beautiful patterns with textured details in your knitting life, and I'm really curious about them. So if you know any patterns that you may think I might like, or that you think some other viewer might like, please comment down below, and I will add all of them to my Ravelry bundle, so that we will have a sort of database for textured knits. As always, I really hope you enjoyed my pattern roundup, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. This would help me a lot. Like, I have to thank you so much, because my last podcast episode was so well received. I was almost crying. Like, I was so moved by the love that for that video, and I'm so close to reaching 1,000 followers, 1,000 subscribers, and this is something I would have never thought before. So if you want to help me reaching this goal, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate every single new viewer. I think that's all for today. So again, let me know about your favorite textured patterns, and maybe we can do this another time and add some new inspiration to this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Happy knitting, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.